Hey, everybody, you're live on Professor, the Bats, and Friends. Here we go. Hey, it's time to turn off the video, put it on photo. Emotional, damn it! Man, let me tell you, this has been a week. I think I have ate my weight in cough drops. I've got a cough, and I can't get rid of it.
Bro.
And ever since I had COVID, I guess it's in my lungs, and I got a hard cough, and I just can't seem to get rid of it. It's just a horrible thing. And now I've got this sinus issue going on, and I'm on all kinds of medicine. And I tell my doctor, I said, "You're going to have to fix this. This is unacceptable."
Yeah, can't let that go, man.
Like crazy.
You got to get healed up. You can't be hitting the road all
Can't
sick.
be doing that.
No,
can't be doing that. So, anyway, how's your week been?
Oh, it's been good.
Have you been doing anything like rig wise, or are you having to adult?
There's less adulting this week.
Amen.
I've been kind of tweaking the garage a little bit, sorting out things and organizing, storing stuff away, and putting
new Oz 10 sleeping bags.
Yeah, trying to figure out where I'm going to put all this stuff when we head out.
Awesome.
Oh, yes, thank you, Kara. Yeah. There's my favorite wife there. She
number one fan. Number one fan. Kara said excited about our new shirt. We actually got our new merch out.
Yes.
And pretty excited about that. And so tell them where they can go get that
at shopoverlandapparel.com.
Shop Overland Apparel.
Yes. I've been saving up some stuff in my cart for placing an order there. So
I've
been waiting for this shirt to hit because I've got several that I need to buy.
Aaron Shaw, hey, Aaron. Good to see you. All right, Good to see you. Thank you for joining us on this.
Aaron had a great group trail ride. Led a great group trail ride last weekend.
Awesome. Yeah. Ladies only group trail ride last weekend.
That's right. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's right.
Arla says those sleeping bags stay in the tent, yo. That's where mine are.
Yeah.
They're packed up in the tent. That's a good place for them.
Mine will go in the tent.
Let me tell you the best thing about these Oz tent sleeping bags that are sold at one of our awesome sponsors, ArtemisOverland.com. If you buy these sleeping bags, and if you don't like sleeping in a tiny sleeping bag, when I sleep, I'm like spread out.
You like to sprawl out.
My legs are all crossed. I look like I'm being crucified. And so I cannot sleep in one of those, what they call mummy bags.
Yeah.
And these are extra large bags for extra large people. But what makes it even better is if you buy a left and a right, you can zip them together, and it makes a huge freaking humongous sleeping bag. And so it is amazing. We got Bill Reed on here, the infamous Bill Reed.
Bill Reed
with us right here.
Yeah.
Cottywomple Overland merch will soon be on the same site that our merch is on.
That's right.
He wanted to be like us, so that's the way it is. And Harla says, congrats, Bill. We appreciate you. I don't know if Bill is at work right now. Bill's always either working or he's overlanding. I mean, there's no
way in between. He goes straight from working to overlanding all the time.
I swear. It's crazy life that he has. Flight medic.
I wish I was heading over there to Kentucky tomorrow. They're having
you tempted you like flirted with the idea.
I did.
Bill said we are his heroes. Now let me tell you, I want to give a shout out to Bill right now because this is This is like a first responder recognition week. And Bill, man, you do a hard job, and we love you for it. And super cool guy. If you haven't seen Cottywomple Overland, go and check out their YouTube channel. They got some good stuff out there. I promise.
Yeah.
They will never let you down. Bill says he's leaving work in the morning for Back the Byway. That's awesome. I know you will have an amazing time. I want to see all the amazing food that comes out of that trip. And just so y'all know, if you've planned to go on this trip, get ready. It's going to rain.
Yeah.
It's going to rain.
It's going to rain, probably.
Yeah, it's going to rain because nobody attracts the rain like Cottywomple. They should really name their Jeep Rain Dance because I swear they love the rain. It's crazy how much it rains in their videos. He really needs to do a how to overland in the rain video because I think people would.
He would nail it.
He would nail it. Man, you talk about experience.
That's right.
He's got experience.
Don't mind me. I'm just sitting here playing with my mic. I'm trying to get my camera to focus back in here.
Well, your camera, I can see you okay.
Yeah.
I can see the Bats Off-Road patch really well. Really well.
Ooh. Oh. Anyway.
Oh man, so we don't have any special guests tonight. It's just us, just me and Tony. So the Meowberry Maniac and myself are going to visit a little bit about something that we're actually going through, and hopefully we can get some feedback from those who are watching. I know Bill has a lot of experience with this, so we're going to talk about. And Tony, this is going to be your longest trip out ever, right?
Ever. Yep.
Okay, so way back several months ago, we've told the story several times about Porker, our good friend in West Virginia that we've stayed with, and I've stayed with many times. He kind of got the bug for overlanding and bought himself a Tacoma and has just went ape crazy with this thing. I mean, it went from stock to completely outfitted in a matter of 2-3 months.
Yeah, right.
And he absolutely loves it. And he contacted me and he said, we got to go somewhere. He said, I want to go west. I've never been to a 14,000 foot mountain. I've never seen a 14,000 foot mountain. And I said, okay, and with my job that I have, I'm able to take several months off in the summer. And so I said, hey, we can go and leave at the end of school and be gone however long you want to be gone. It started out as a 2-week deal.
Yeah.
We were going to leave the end of school and be back for Big Iron Overland Rally. And then it just kind of blossomed. And he said, well, I don't have to be back. And I said, well, we could drive back for the rally. That was our original plan, and then go back. Well, then, excuse me, gas just went through the roof. I mean, it went from $2 to $4 in a matter of time. And I told Ronnie, I said, that's, about 600 miles at 10 miles a gallon. That's going to cost about, $500 to drive back for this 3-day event. And don't get me wrong, the Big Iron Overland Rally is something to behold.
Yes. And
I said, but to drive back and then go back, I don't know. I don't know if that's feasible right now because I could use that $700 and drive all over Colorado. I mean, all over.
Yeah.
And he said, well, that's a good idea. Well, anyway, I know you're going to have to come back.
Yeah, it's still 2 weeks for me. I'm coming
still
back.
Still 2 weeks for you.
I'm still looking forward to Big Iron.
I still got a cough. I swear, I got to get rid of this thing. But for us to plan for this has been an adventure in itself.
Mm-hmm.
To plan to be gone this long because I've never been gone a month. I've never been gone long, as long as a month before. You're on a 2-week deal. Ronnie's on his first big long trip away from home, and so we've all been getting together on things and talking about things about what we should do, and it really come up as something that we should visit about around here because a lot of people have jobs. In fact, most people have jobs. There's very few of us out there, in overland land that, were born wealthy, don't have to work.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody's got a job. They just got to pay the bills. Family comes first, or they have to balance between an overland trip and a family vacation, because a lot of times the wife and kids, they're not into this sleeping in a tent on the roof. So, it's just one of those things where you have to balance it out with your family.
Yeah.
And so it's just something to consider. So what's been going through your mind about, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. What do I need to do?
Well, so I mean, it's the gear that I need. It's a little bit different because usually my wife and daughter go with me when we go out, and this time they're not. So it's the consideration is the gear that I'm taking is going to be less. The supplies I'm taking is less and different. Um, what about the things that I normally do at home when I'm here? Who's going to do those things while I'm gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, when I usually get on and pay the bills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's
a lot to think about.
It is a lot to think about.
And especially if you're going to leave your family at home, you've got to make sure that they're taken care of, that they're safe, that they have everything that they need, so that you can enjoy yourself and not worry about them the whole time you're gone.
Right.
And so, like you said, the things that you normally do, you have to make sure those are taken care of.
That's right.
So now you have run into a little bit of you and Porker both, I swear. Y'all like to take things down to the wire like nobody I've ever seen in my life.
I'm telling you
the
what,
last trip that we went on, you were building a trailer and you got the trailer done like the day before we left.
Yeah.
And now you've sold your rooftop tent. We leave in 8 days, 9 days, something around that, something like that. And your tent that you've ordered still hasn't come in.
Yeah.
That's got to be.
It's nerve wracking.
Got to be stressful.
Yeah, it's nerve wracking. I did hear today though that it supposedly shipped last Friday, so hopefully it's on its merry way to our good friends up at Artemis. So hopefully that issue is going to be put to bed soon.
I hope so, because that's a pretty big issue. Because as of now, you got nowhere to sleep.
Right.
And,
no, I have a hammock.
Well, yeah, I swear, going to a place that don't have many trees. So you may have to tie it from my tailgate to your tailgate. I don't know what you'd have to do.
Well, and they've got big bears up there too. So
big bears
big
that like hammocks,
not the little black ones.
Yeah, they call you a chicken nugget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bear taco in a hammock.
So, on this topic of taking an extended adventure, really the first thing that I thought of when you are preparing for this was, where are you going to go? Many of us have bucket lists, places that we have always wanted to go. Some places are attainable, and some are way down the line. There's several places that I want to go that I know is not possible right now. There's several factors that have to take place.
Right.
Money, how long you can be gone, whether your kids and wife go with you, whether your rig is in shape or not. So, doing the Dalton Highway, that's not attainable right now for me.
No.
I don't know if it's even the right time of year to go up there. So it's one of those things where you've got things on your bucket list that you can do now, and then things that will come later in life. Some people like to go to events like Overland Expo. You went to Mountain West last year.
Yeah.
That was your big trip of the year. So, so when you're thinking about where to go, do you want to go to an event where you see all the new gear, you're around a lot of people, or do you want to do the opposite, where you go to a place where there's no people and and things like that. So what made you want to go to Expo Mountain West last year and do that instead of doing something else?
So for us, we had neither one of us had ever been to one of the big, Overland Expo uh, expos, and we had the opportunity that that weekend that Mountain West was on was our anniversary weekend. So what that ended up being is just a quick getaway for us that kind of did. Yeah,
Yeah, he can.
no, yeah, I know I can, and
Carlos says he could spoon with me, and
yeah,
I'll be okay with that.
yeah, I don't know if I'm. Anyway,
Anyway, go ahead.
so we kind of did it a twofold thing where we got to see a big expo, and then we adventured around and looked at Estes Park, and we went down to what's it there in Colorado Springs is Garden of the Gods,
Mm-hmm.
and then we did Pikes Peak. And so we did that. That was just kind of a quick run. Left on Thursday, came back on Sunday, and had a great time. But that was just me and my wife. So
Yeah.
it just kind of depends on the time of year, when we're going, how long we're going to be going, how long we're going to be gone, um, how much vacation time we can spend. So um, if I'm
Yeah,
going to spend a month like you guys,
yeah,
it's probably going to be going to Canada or someplace like that.
yeah. Go like get as far away from here as possible, type
Yeah,
of deal. Because you've got to factor in that travel time.
yeah,
We've got about 24 hours of driving before we ever get to where we actually want to be.
yeah,
And so you got to factor that in. You got a day there and a day back. So if you're only taking a week, you've really actually only got 5 days to be
yeah,
where you want to be.
yeah,
And that's if you're driving there in one day.
right,
And if you take 2 days, which most people do, if you're driving 1,000 miles or more, you've cut it down to 3 days
right,
that you're there. So people that live in the Midwest where we live, if you're not going somewhere close, you've got a long way to go and a short time to get there
in both ways.
both ways.
Yeah,
And so, it's just something that you have to think about. Um, and you also have to think, do you want to plan a route or do you just want to wing it?
just,
And
just wing it and trust ways to get you there.
yeah, yeah, Porker will have something to talk about that. Um, but I've done it. I've done it both ways. I've planned routes. If you go into the Silverton area, where all the big name trails that you want to do, you've got Imogene, you've got
I
Cinnamon
love
Pass,
that
you got
area.
Black Bear Pass, you got
Yeah,
all these passes, and you know where you're going, so everything's already planned out for you. Great place to base camp and go in there and do out. And that's another thing. Are you going to base camp? Do you take your trailer? Do you just take your rig? So there's so many things to think about when you're going to go on a trip like this. How you're going to get there, what you're going to take, where you're going to go.
yeah.
But one of the funnest trips that I did was a couple years ago when uh, I went into Gunnison and I had 7 days to get to Denver, and then I had and I just got on Gaia Maps and found us a little spot and just went with it, and I discovered some most beautiful places I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Now, when you go out west, like where we're going to Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, most of the state, I mean, a vast amount of the state is public land. So you can do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to actually have a spot picked out for the night. You can actually drive 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and you're already coming to National Forest again. Just pull off the side of the road and camp.
Yeah.
And what was amazing to me in some of these places is they have actual campgrounds that you could pull in. No amenities, just a spot. Maybe a bathroom with a pit toilet or something like that. You pay $30 a night, $30 a night, or you can go just right down the gravel road and pay nothing. So
Use your own toilet and pay nothing.
I don't understand that a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah.
But some of these people have campers and they don't want to venture off into the trails or whatever. So maybe that's for them. I left it for them.
Yeah.
But that's things you got to think about. So we've got trailers. We're not taking our trailers on this one because more than likely we're going to be moving around every day,
Right.
or every other day, depends on how good the spot is. And so
Or
we've
or
already cut
or how good the fishing is.
how good the fishing is.
Yeah.
And so, we've never been to this area, and it's going to be something that it's unexpected, but
Yeah.
we know that we're going to find some really good spots. Now, I will say that having this new Garmin Overlander has totally changed how I do trips now.
Yeah.
Totally. Because I can pick out a spot or waypoint or something on the backcountry discovery routes or something, and I'll hit that and it'll take me to that, give me turn by turn directions, and I can select 1 through 4, 1 being highways, 2 being a little off road, 3 being a lot off road, and 4 being major trails. So you can pick how adventurous you want to be with this new Garmin Overlander, and I love that.
Yeah.
I actually love that. So it has totally changed how I'm going to plan my trips now. So
Hey, Richard.
now
Yeah.
we know that we're going to Rhino Rack.
Yeah.
One of the sponsors of you and Porker and me, and we're going to visit with the bigwig executives there and show them how cool our rigs are and all that, and maybe visit with Hope Trail Rated Coffee.
I think I talked to Chris today. I think he's excited. He's excited.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited about meeting him as well because I
Hey,
love his coffee.
Yeah.
Absolutely love his coffee. In fact, I got some Rubicon right here that I'm going to make sure and not use as a backdrop from now on. I'll be drinking that stuff while we're gone.
Yeah.
But I really hope to visit with them. And then we're going up to Estes Park. That's actually, you've got a campsite that y'all stayed in there when y'all went to Mountain West. And that's like the only place we know we're going to stay.
Yeah.
The only one is the very first one. And so after that, we're just going to wing it and go explore and see what we can get ourselves into. There's going to be 4 rigs, and we've talked about this. We want to go to Wyoming. I've never camped in Wyoming. I've been to Wyoming several times, but I've never camped in Wyoming, and I'm going to mark this off the list. And, I've got an idea. I've got an idea. I'm so excited. So check this out. So my new tent, which is 230 Kabari.
Okay.
It's got the ceiling of the tent is just like the ceiling in my FJ. It's where you can stick patches to. So I'm going to get a patch from every state that I stay in this tent, and I'm going to put up in there.
There you go.
And I'm going to build me a collection. Every time I stay in a state, I'm going to build me a collection. So that
Fill
way
that dude up. Fill it up.
I'm going to fill it up. Come on now. I love that.
That'd be
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the first part. Where do we go? And then, another thing that I thought of when we were talking about this was saving up for the trip. Now, I work for the city. I don't make a whole lot of money. Oh my gosh, there's Chris Carroll. Hey, Chris.
Hey, dude.
Appreciate you being on here. Fast Track Overland. Aaron Sharp. There you are. So saving up for the trip. I've never been good at this. It's always been, I'll just put it on a credit card. I'll work some overtime in the fall and pay it off, and then it'll be done.
Yeah.
But this year, I've actually worked really hard to save up because I knew gas was going to be expensive. And I don't even want to think about how expensive it is. And I've been meaning to tell you and Porker about this, but for everyone who's planning on going out west this summer, I talked to some people at Rigs and Coffee at Artemis last weekend, and they had just got back from there out in Colorado, Utah, making a big circle around Montana, not Montana, but Utah, Arizona. And they said that as of now, many of the places that are out there, gas stations, if you don't pay in cash, they add 20 cents a gallon. So it's a good idea to have some cash if you want to save some money. Because if you're putting in, 10 gallons, you're only spending $2. But, if you're putting in 20 gallons, that $4 will add up. So you want to think about that. So they're going to charge you 20 cents more a gallon if you don't pay in cash. So I've done really good this year about saving up. I've taken some stuff that I've bought through the years that I don't use anymore, and I've sold it on Facebook, or I've sold it on, to people that I know or whatever, and I've saved that cash and I've hoarded that cash for this trip because I knew I was going to need some extra money. So I've been saving up, been doing some side jobs for different people. So I've got money in my Cash App,
Yeah.
and things like that. So I've got money stashed everywhere in a whole bunch of different places. I don't have any buried in the backyard like what y'all do in Northwest Arkansas,
Yeah.
but I do have cash saved up. And this is the first time I've ever done that. And I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
That's awesome.
So Richard says the Gas Buddy app helped us out on our trip out west last month too. This is Richard. This is who I was talking about that told me about the extra if you don't pay cash. So yeah, Gas Buddy app. I need to download that because Gas Buddy will tell you where the cheapest gas is in your area. And let me tell you, just in my small town, since gas is so high, the city budgets. Get this: the city budgets $80,000 a month for gas for our vehicles. And so when gas went from $1.80 to now it's right at $4 a gallon, they send out emails 4 times a day where the cheapest gas is in town. And it ranges almost 30 cents difference just in these little mom and pop places to places out at the interstate or whatever. So the Gas Buddy app will really save you a lot of money. You may drive another mile to get to it or whatever, but if you're saving $4 or $5 a time, then you're gonna save a lot of money. So Aaron says they had their money in the mattress. Well, if I break into your house, now I know where to look. Appreciate that. Yeah, we all know the gas struggle. We do. But you're probably getting pretty good, Chris, with your 2-wheel drive. So I don't want to hear it.
I hope I'm going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of the upper teens on this trip without a trailer. So
yeah,
with the new iCamper, I think it's going to be a little bit lower and a little bit more aerodynamic. So
yeah.
Maybe,
My new tent is a lot more aerodynamic than my last one, so I actually got a gain. Even though the tent is heavier, I got a pretty good gain. So I'm up around 13, 14 miles a gallon. There's a upside, and I have that app on my phone. It's Get Upside, I believe is what it is. Upside, yeah, it just says Upside. And what they do is they give you a little bit some off your gas, and you tell it when you're there, and you check in, and when you buy your gas there, they give you money back. So it goes into an account, and you build that account up. I think I've already got like $13, $14 in there just from doing it around here.
And that's a Get Upside?
Get Upside. I heard about it on the radio. They did a infomercial on the local radio station down here, and I downloaded it. And they have certain stations that you can go to. Tells you what the gas price is, and if you go there, they'll give you up to like 10 or 12 cents a gallon back into this account. It just puts in an account, and you can cash it out at any time.
Oh, wow.
Works pretty good. So that works well. But I've done really good at saving for this trip. And I've also done something better this time than I've ever done before, and that is purchasing stuff ahead of time, like food. I've stocked up on food, and I have made sure that I had everything that I need beforehand, because if I spend money now, I won't be spending money then. So to me, that's saving. I don't know if you consider that saving, but to me, that's saving.
Yeah.
But, when I got to thinking about food, that's a huge part of what we do while we're gone.
Yeah.
And it's also a huge part of, I guess it's prepping before the trip.
Yeah.
And so we're probably going to spend, when I got to talking to Tony about this, about doing the show, I said, man, I've got the notes typed out, and this is probably going to be a 2-parter because I got to the food and I got stuck because I got I got a ton of cool recommendations and tips and tricks for food. But right now, I can't quit coughing. So we'll be right back. You're watching Professor and Friends.
Hi, this is Jerry from Tembo Tusk.
This is Aaron with Artemis Overland Hardware.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Kara from Ozark Overland Adventures.
I'm Adam with Oki Overland.
I'm Tank with Overland Spices.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Drew with the Rock Squash Designs, here with the Rock Squash.
This is Jeff from Bad Academic Cup.
Hi, I'm Julie, the Overlander next door.
And I'm Phil from Down to Mob.
And you're watching.
And you're watching
Professor
Bats.
Bats.
Bat Crazy.
Professor Bats and Friends.
Professor Bats and Friends.
Professor Bats and Friends.
The Professor Bats and Friends.
Professor Bats and Friends.
Sponsored by Artemis Overland Hardware in Springfield, Missouri. More Expo, Tack Form Mounts, Trail Rated Coffee, Linson Solar, Howling Moon Tents and Awnings, Big Iron Overland Rally, June 10th through the 12th in West Mineral, Kansas, Mountain Hatch, Lifesaver Water Filters, MC Ranch Overland, Snowmaster Fridges, EcoFlow, Timbo Tusk, Dow Dynamics Lighting, and our good friends at Midland Radio. Thank you for joining our show. No pros, just bros on this show. Thank you for being here. Here we go. You know, so a lot of people say we eat better when we're camping than when we do at home. And I think that's true, especially, if you go with me and Tony.
Yeah.
We eat really good. Porker also is a great cook. So this is going to be a trip where I'm probably going to gain back all the weight that I just lost. But, if you think about it, all the stuff that we take like on our weekend trips, we have more room than what we're going to have on this trip because we've got to really plan for hot weather, cold weather, being gone a long time, taking lots of extra clothes, things like that. So that's going to take up space.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that we take that we cook that are really good, say, for instance, your crab boil, that stuff takes up a lot of space.
The pot's like...
The pot, I mean, the pink or what is it, turquoise flowery pot?
No. We're not taking this. No, we're not taking that pot.
You're not taking the
turquoise. I'm taking the big pot.
Flowery pot?
The big stainless pot.
Oh, okay. So it don't have flowers on it?
No. What
Okay.
Does that make you sad?
It does. It's the prettiest overlanding pot ever.
Ever?
Yeah. What is it, like a Rachel Ray or something like
Yeah.
that?
It's a
It's a medicine woman.
Pioneer woman.
Pioneer woman. Yeah, that's
medicine, not medicine.
I used to watch that a long time ago.
Okay.
But that takes up so much space. The things that I take to cook in my Dutch oven take so much space. The Dutch oven itself, which I always carry anyway, but most of the time it's very expensive and it takes up a lot of space. So you got to think about that. And that's just going to be one meal.
Yeah.
Or maybe a dessert or the campfire. So maybe that's something, you want to take the pot, but maybe you want to pick up the stuff along the way so you don't have to carry it or store it or things like that. You also have to think, we got some comments on here. They must be cracking you up.
Yeah. I was going to say, we got...
Porker said, I finished all my food shopping yesterday and I've been vacuum sealing every evening. We're going to talk about vacuum sealing. Vacuum sealer is your friend. I told Porker several weeks ago about a vacuum sealer. I think he got one for his birthday because he asked for one after I talked to him about it. And it will change your life when you are packing for a long trip. I promise. Amy Marler says, good cooks. Thank you, Amy. Amy is the great provider of steaks.
Yes.
And if you bring it, I will cook it.
Another lady-owned Toyota ambassador.
Yeah. Pioneer woman, duck 50 feet from the man card. You're on probation.
Okay, so Jason, that's not what's going on this trip. That is not going on this trip.
I do have pictures.
Yeah. Well, I do too.
We were camped on the James River. It was dark at night, and he tried to sneak it in the darkness, but you had to see it. It's a turquoise. In fact, all of your stuff is that way at home. Now that I've been to your house, I see that you have a huge collection of the turquoise flowery pots.
Yes, my wife
From
has
the-
a huge
from the
collection of turquoise flowery pots. Yeah.
Okay, you're going to say your wife has it, whatever.
Under cover of darkness.
Yeah, yeah, under the cover of darkness. He tried to sneak it in, but it was fine because the boil was amazing. So we easily overlooked that.
So before I forget, I got a question for anybody out there that's done a crab boil like this in bear country. What do you do with your trash?
I would take the crab. What do you call it? Skin, not skin.
The shells?
Shells.
Yeah.
And put them in your neighbor's camp.
Yeah, because the bears are going to come from miles away.
Miles.
They'll be there
You could
before we're done
smell
eating.
seafood further than any other food.
Yeah, they'll be there before we're done eating.
Yeah.
They'll be over there like.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry, got distracted with the.
So suspend it from a tree and then throw it away ASAP. Yep. I agree. Now, Porker
Right.
lives in the land of the bears. He has one ran through his yard this year. So he knows. But, a lot of things you have to consider when going on a long trip. I remember back when we didn't have a fridge. We just had a cooler. And it was such a pain having to change ice every day or two. Try to keep everything cold. And then when the ice melted, it got everything soggy and moist and wet and just nasty. And so we upgraded to a refrigerator. Now I have a dual zone fridge where I can keep things frozen and I can keep things cold, or I can keep both things frozen, or I can keep both things cold. Most of the time I keep one of them as a freezer and one of them as a fridge, because especially on long trips, you don't want meat that's been sitting in the fridge for 3 weeks and pull it out and then it's smelling like Oprah's armpit. So you just don't want that. And so I keep things frozen. Now, when we were gone, sorry, I don't know where that came from. When we were gone to South Texas, you had an issue with your freezer at the time, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I did, but I don't think that was the freezer's fault. I think it just was me not realizing that I really needed to run the temperature in the freezer down farther than just below freezing.
Yeah.
Because it had a different level in there, as at the bottom is going to be colder than the top, and if you're at 28 degrees, then it's not everything is going to be frozen. So
right. And see, I've got mine set up perfectly like that, because I can set it on like 24, 25 degrees, put the stuff I want frozen at the bottom, and then the stuff at the top will be semi-frozen.
See, that's where you don't want to keep your ice cream, not at the top.
No, you want to keep it on the bottom.
Yeah.
You want to keep it always on the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that I always forget when I put stuff in the freezer is taking it out beforehand, letting it thaw.
Yeah.
Before you cook, because you pull up to camp, all your stuff's still in the fridge. You go to take it out, everything's frozen. That's no fun.
That's no
so
good.
You have to remember, take things out. If you're going to put them in the freezer, but on a month-long trip, I'm gonna put stuff in the freezer, because I have done my food so well this time that almost everything that will be in my freezer will be either meat or drinks. I have thought about food every day so much, and I've got so many good examples of what to do. Man,
you have opened my eyes to yeah. I mean, like, oh yeah, ice cream. You gotta have ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream.
These right here. I don't know if is this. Are we jumping too far ahead?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about those.
Oh, okay, all right.
You're getting ahead of me.
Sorry.
But I have planned so far ahead and thought about this so much that I'm getting as much food as possible that I do not have to keep in the fridge, because I have limited space in the fridge, and I have some front runner boxes that I will keep my food in.
Yep.
and I will keep those in the back. I can, restock those at any time during the trip. I've found some different things that I never knew existed because I just went to the grocery store and walked really slow and looked around. And I found some cool stuff. I've got it right here. Check this out. Where'd I put it? I got all this stuff here to use as examples, and I don't know where I put it. Uh-oh. I think I lost it. I don't know where it went. But anyway, daggone. That's one of my favorite things. I found salt cured ham that does not have to be refrigerated. It's already vacuum sealed. They sold it. I came upon it in the meat section at Kroger. So I was just looking around at the meat section, and there's this wooden bin sitting there that's got all these vacuum seal packages of ham, like smoked ham, sugar cured ham or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there, not being cooled, and it's like in individual portions already. It was like $3 or $4, and I thought this does not have to be cooled. I love ham.
Yeah.
I'm getting some of this. So that was one of the coolest things I found. I have found a lot of soups. I'm going to take a lot of ramen.
Yeah.
Because another thing that I'm thinking about when I'm cooking soup like this, and I did this for Kara last week at the
bonfire.
At the bonfire.
Yeah.
But I'm able to use my
Jetboil minimum.
Jetboil.
Yeah.
Gosh, the name just went. My Jetboil, which runs off butane, I don't have to use my propane. So I've got multi forms of gas, which I love because I'm always running out of something. So I can use my Jetboil for soups and things like that. I found chicken. Tyson makes chicken, white chunk chicken, that comes in a package that does not have to be refrigerated.
Yep.
Love that. Premium white chicken comes in a bag. This is actually more than one portion. This is only like $2 for this package. And I love this stuff. I can put this in my ramen. I can put it in. I plan on using this for chicken spaghetti that I'm going to make on the scuttle. Several things that I can use this chicken for. Put it in breakfast burritos, anything like that. So I've got that.
So the idea is to not eat anywhere else, right? Like just to be.
Now, if we find some hole-in-the-wall places that are cool, and I know Joe is going to go with us, Joe Tokarski from The Day We Make.
Yeah.
And he is a pro at finding all these cool hole-in-the-wall places. I don't mind stopping for things like that.
Okay, right.
But a lot of the time, we're going to be in the middle of nowhere, camped. And so I want to do a light thing for lunch, like a sandwich or soup or, crackers and meat or something like that. And then, for dinner, I want to eat good. And I eat breakfast every morning. So things like that. Now,
quick and easy meals that you don't use up a lot of your water and stuff. And
now you showed us this new thing. It's from a company called, I think it's Came right there. These are in the Oriental section of Walmart or Kroger or anything like that. They have 3 or 4 different noodles. These are pre-cooked noodles. So there's 2 packages of this. They come out just like that. So they're pre-cooked noodles.
And they don't have to be refrigerated. And
let me tell you, we were at the bonfire, and I made some of these for lunch because I wanted to show Tony how good they were. And so they have sauces like what Tony has right there. I did some chicken. Didn't I do chicken? Was it chicken?
Yeah.
I did some chicken, and then I cut up onions and peppers, I believe, and put in there. and did that around, put the sauce in there for a minute, put the noodles in there for 2 minutes, and it was done. It's done in less than 5 minutes, and it's so good. And so if you find the sauce packets like what Tony had right there to go with it, and you have noodles and you have the sauce, you've got a full stir fry meal right there.
Teriyaki and just all different flavors.
So good.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, if you have a scuttle, that stuff is your friend. It is your friend because it's so easy. So easy. I did it in the skillet a couple weeks ago, but if you have a scuttle, so easy. And it does like 2 portions. One little package of these noodles will feed 2 people. And if you like pasta, that's a way to go, because think about this. If you have chicken, you have rotel, you have a little bit of cream of mushroom soup, and you have some cheese, you've got chicken spaghetti. If you've got ground beef and you've got, check this out. Ragu makes single serving packages of marinara sauce, traditional spaghetti sauce. So you don't have to open a jar and then worry about sticking the rest of the jar in the fridge. These are single serving packets. I got these off Amazon. And so if you've got those noodles, you've got one of these, and you've got some hamburger meat, you've got spaghetti.
Yeah.
So you can do so many different things with just a pack of pre-cooked noodles. And that just blows my mind. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
One thing that you told me about before the show was the shrimp. I'm going to get some of that. I'm going to get some of that.
I found, like the sauce that Tony has, they make a prepackaged package of shrimp scampi, and all you need is the noodles, some pre-cooked shrimp, and the shrimp scampi sauce, and you've got shrimp scampi. So just with one thing, you've got stir fry, you can have chicken spaghetti, you can have regular spaghetti, you can have shrimp scampi. So amazing. So I can't tell you how pumped I am about discovering this and really putting the effort in to, do some research and figure out how everything can go together. So I've got some little jars of mushrooms I can put in there. I've actually bought, check this out. This is and I don't like taking glass when I camp. I found these plastic mason jars on Amazon. I got like 10 for like $8. And this is a jar full of dehydrated onions. And so all this, onions. So it's a great way to, I can put these in soup. Also, the little packages that come in ramen that have the dehydrated vegetables, you can buy a huge bag of those on Amazon. So I got more dehydrated vegetables to put in my soup to beef it up a little bit. I can put some chicken in there. I can put some onions in there. And, it becomes like gourmet.
Did you happen to see the shredded broccoli that I was telling you that I found instead of the stir fry vegetables? I found it was shredded broccoli with carrots and cabbage, I think, but it was basically just little strings. And whenever you mix that in with these noodles, it's about the same size as a noodle, and they're about this long, and it is great.
Wow,
it is fantastic.
I'll have to look for that. Now, I was telling you that I believe it was at my Walmart. They have prepackaged stir fry vegetables. So one package of those, if you're an individual, will last about 3 cooks. So, but those do have to be refrigerated. Vegetables do have to be refrigerated. So I am going to take these dehydrated onions. I'm going to get regular small onions that you can just have in a bag that you don't have to refrigerate, that I can just use 1 or 2 at a time. So and peppers, but peppers need to be refrigerated too. So I'm probably going to go ahead and cut up my peppers and vacuum seal them. Now, we were talking about a vacuum sealer earlier, and I don't have anything to show everybody who's watching right now about the vacuum sealer because it's all in my freezer.
Yeah.
But you can buy, and what I do is I buy another tip and trick here. I went and bought 2 rotisserie chickens from Walmart or Kroger or Sam's. They got them everywhere. They're so cheap. The whole chicken is like $5. So much meat. And I pulled all the meat off the bone and I just pulled it apart where it's like shredded. And I did it in individual portions. I got 5 meals out of one chicken.
Yeah.
So I got 10 and I vacuum sealed it. And it is like a 1/4 inch wide because when that thing starts sucking the air out of there, I smash it and I want it flat. I used to do them small and round, but now I smash it flat because I was telling Tony, I bet I can get 60 meals just in half of my refrigerator if it's vacuum sealed, if it's individual portions.
Yeah.
Because you can make it so small and you can pack so much in there. So I've got pork chops. When we were in West Virginia, they had a huge sale on steaks, and we about wiped them suckers out.
Yeah. And
on
then
steaks.
those little pork steaks too. Those
Pork
little
steaks.
Yeah.
They had individual steaks. They were already vacuum sealed. And then pork steaks, I've got all my bacon that is individually packaged and vacuum sealed. I'm going to do my hamburger meat, and I'm also going to do some sausage. I'm going to get some sausage, and I'm going to slice it up, vacuum seal it, so it'll be done. Now,
Yes.
you might say, well, that's a waste of your bags for you could just be putting that in just regular lunch bags or something like that. Let me tell you, you can't replace a vacuum sealer. It gets it so small, and it also keeps it fresh for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
So when you vacuum seal, it is much better, and you have a little bit of waste, but you don't have to pack up any leftovers because it's all in individual portions. And so you don't have to worry about. Now, I do carry with me some, I can't remember what they're made out of, but they're reusable baggies. Silicone. That's what they are. They're reusable silicone baggies that you can wash. And that way I don't have to carry a big box of them. I just carry like 3 or 4 and I can put them in there, wash them out, and then reuse them.
Uh-huh.
So if I do have any leftovers, you can buy those on Amazon. You can get a whole pack of, 10 of them for like $15. They're real.
Wow.
They're
That's
real
a
easy.
good tip. I didn't know those existed.
Love the silicone reusable baggies because they come in all different sizes, and you just put a little soap and water in there, rinse them out, just let them dry, and you can reuse them again. So they work really well. They also have. I wish I had brought those out here to do too, but they also have reusable silicone squeeze bottles. So instead of taking a huge bottle of ketchup, you can fill one of those up, or mustard, or mayonnaise, or steak sauce, or anything like that. You can put in there. So, and it all comes in a little package, so you don't have to carry the big bottles of everything with you. And
that reminds me. I was going to ask you, what do you use to carry your olive oil or something like that in?
I got a tip from a guy a long time ago. The best bottles to carry oil in are the ketchup squeeze bottles. So if you have, because ketchup bottles are really thick and they do not leak. So if you've got a ketchup, I think it was like an old Heinz squeezable that has the big lid on top.
Yeah.
I took that, I ran it through the dishwasher about 10 times to make sure it was clean, and took the label off of it. So it's just a clear plastic bottle. And I fill that thing up with olive oil because, like I said, I don't like taking glass. And these are perfect, to fit in everything. And they hold quite a bit of oil. So,
well, I ended up breaking the one that I had, which is just like the plastic bottle from Walmart. It's got the little cone on the top.
Yeah.
You pull the little cap off and you squeeze it. It cracked or broke somehow, and it's only like a year old. So,
yeah,
I
got a tip from somebody on that, and I started doing it, and I love it. It holds quite a bit, and it does not leak. And, it stands up in there because it's, you won't fall over or whatever. But I really like using the old squeezable ketchup bottles.
Gotcha. Okay.
But, like I said, I've got a lot of dehydrated food and a lot of pre-cooked stuff like the noodles, the ramen, and the the sauces and stuff like that. So I think I'm doing pretty good on my food. Now it's I don't know how you plan food, like what you're gonna eat each time. I try to take stuff that'll work together, and so that way, if you run out of something, you can stop at the store. On my trip to Colorado a couple of years ago, in between times, we'd have to stop and buy water.
Yeah.
Water is cheap to buy; it's like $1 a gallon, and so if you need fresh water, just buy the water $1 a gallon or something like that, and fill your stuff back up. But you may have to buy a little more meat, a little more vegetables, a little more noodles, a little more whatever. But you may run out of something to have more of everything else. But if you buy things that go together, it works out really well. Now, one thing I did on top of buying the plastic mason jars was I found these containers at the Dollar Tree, and they're not quite as high quality, but they're only $1 for like 5. So they're pretty cheap. If they bust, you can just throw it away. But the cool thing about these is you can write on these with a Sharpie. And so what I have done is I have taken this and you can read that right there. That's
cornbread.
And so I've pre-mixed my cornbread. And I like to have like beans and cornbread, peas and cornbread. When we were out in West Virginia, I buy yellow-eyed peas. I buy Anasazi beans. I buy a lot of beans. I love beans and cornbread. I love cornbread. I love making cornbread in the Dutch oven. And what I did was I pre-mixed all my homemade cornbread. And I put the directions on the top right there. Cornbread mix. 1 cup of milk, 1 egg, 1/4 cup of oil. And that's it. Mix that up, put it in there, heat it up, and it'll be ready in about 40 minutes. So that way you don't have to spend a whole lot of time on the back of your trailer, on the back of your rig, mixing up everything or looking at directions. It's all right there on the lid.
There you go.
And then when I empty this out, I just keep it and I fill it up the next time. So I'm gonna take a couple of these. Hopefully we'll have some homemade cornbread on the trip. But I'm pretty excited about that. You find little things like that. It's cheap. You don't worry about them breaking. You don't worry about this or that. So you can just write on them with a Sharpie. All your instructions are there, and it's done.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
And when you do all this prepping that you do, and you compress and prepare and have all of your food ready to go, then when you splurge on things like crab legs, there's room in the fridge.
There's room. That's right.
For the stuff that you can't really compress all that with.
That's right. That's right. And talking about planning food, do you carry stuff to cook or do you carry quick meals? I actually do both. I made the mistake one time. It was, I believe it was last fall. It was hot. I was camping up on the Buffalo River, and everything I took to eat, I had to cook. And what I did was I ran down the road to a little general store, and I had to make me a sandwich because I was not in the mood. There were bugs everywhere. I was hot and sweaty. And so you got to have a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And so whether you take the Uncrustables, which are the little freezable peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or if you take meat and cheese and bread, whatever you got to do, just take a little bit of both, because there's going to be sometimes that you don't want to cook. And there's going to be sometimes when it's hot that you don't want to eat something hot. You may want to eat something cold, like cheese and cracker and meat, or just a sandwich. So, but quick lunches in the middle of the day, such as ramen, sandwiches, meat, cheese tray, or whatever. And then dinner we'll have good meals like steak and taters or crab bowl or whatever, something like that.
Right.
For one of our meals with the noodles. So another thing, there's going to be 4 or 5 rigs in this trip. Are we going to do community meals? So we had to think about that. We've already discussed that. Are we going to do a meal where you bring a meat and I bring a vegetable, or I make a cornbread and Porker brings a vegetable? Are we going to have like a buffet? Because I enjoy that. That's fun.
That's right.
That's community. And so I think I think we're going to all carry stuff with us so we can do that. And so you have to think about that. These things take a lot of planning, when you do that. And it also takes a lot of room, but that's part of the experience, I think. I have concentrated a lot on this show about preparing, planning, trying to get things down as small as possible, but you don't want to ruin the time that you have with others or the community.
That's right.
That you're spending with them. So, do you do any prep work before you leave? Like you can see, I've done a lot of prep work.
You've done a lot of prep work.
I have so much meat vacuum sealed right now. I could live until 2023, probably. I mean, I've got so much meat. It's unbelievable. I've got a lot of cheese. I love fresh grated cheese. So I always stop at cheese stores and buy smoked Gouda, which is one of our favorites.
That's my favorite.
Or, we watch a guy on YouTube together, the Jeep guy with the iCamper. I can't remember his name right now. It just slipped me.
Oh.
But he's all the time making pasta and has a little meat with it. And he has his grater out there and he grades the Parmesan cheese or he grades the stuff like that. And it just looks so good. I mean, so stinking good. But I can't think of his name right now. He's got like 100,000 followers. He's a big deal.
There. Yeah, I'm getting there. Hang on.
But I like that. Drew Sims, that's his name. Man, let me tell you, the photography and videography in his videos is second to none.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. He is unbelievable. Tracy said Marco. I love Marco, but it's not Marco. Yeah. It's Drew Sims. Now, Marco, I love Marco. Marco, Marco comes across to me as the nicest guy on the planet.
Ever.
I love Marco. Super guy. If you know Marco, tell him I want to get him on the show. I've been trying for a long time.
I don't know
He's
him.
a busy guy.
I got his cookbook, but I don't know him.
Yeah. But do you do any prep work before you leave? I'm going to get some onions and peppers. Do I cut them up and vacuum seal them, or just do I leave them whole? I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I don't.
I'm
see, once you take that skin off the onion, you've got to refrigerate it. So if you take just regular small onions, you don't have to refrigerate them. And I can replace those later. But I like onions and peppers.
So if you cut your onion up, what are you going to do with it? You're going to vacuum seal it?
You'd have to vacuum seal it and put it in a refrigerator.
And then put it in some sort of lead box so that it doesn't stink up the rest of the fridge.
Well, if it's vacuum sealed, it's not going to stink up.
You got to have something in there. This onion's going to get everywhere.
Porker says he's going to prep his. So I may do that too. I don't know. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do. Because I know peppers, you already have to refrigerate them anyway.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't like bell peppers. I don't think they have a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
I like poblano peppers. For me, they taste so much better. Gives so much more flavor. And you can eat them just like you do a bell pepper. So you can saute them in with the onions and then cook them over steaks. And they're mwah. So next time you go to the store, either Anaheim or poblano peppers, try them. You won't be disappointed.
Okay.
And then other tips and tricks is kind of what we're getting to here because we're almost at the end of the show. We're already over an hour. Can you believe that?
It's just fun.
So I love to eat eggs in the morning. To eat eggs in the morning. Now, if you're going to be gone for a long period of time, eggs take up a lot of room in your refrigerator. But if you get fresh eggs from a farm or from somebody that you don't have to refrigerate them. And I have found these real cool egg crates. Check these out. So I got this off Amazon. I have never, ever liked my egg thing that I got at Walmart. It's the yellow one.
Yeah.
And if you don't know this and you don't understand why your eggs aren't fitting in that yellow thing very good, because the yellow is made from medium-sized eggs. There's a red one that you can't find anywhere on this planet that's made for large eggs. And I can't find medium eggs anywhere. Nowhere. There are no chickens in Arkansas that lay medium eggs. They feed them too much hormones. So I found this. This is a egg carton. It is plastic clear, got a flat lid that just lifts off. This can hold up to extra large eggs, and this is a dozen. It is a different shape than the other thing, but it's stackable. And I like this. I like this because I can take this and I can put fresh eggs in here, and I can put them in my front runner boxes, and I don't have to worry about them getting crushed. Pretty pumped about that. I got enough for 2 dozen. So get an egg crate that won't break. Drinks. Let me tell you, I used to make this mistake all the time. I would not buy any drinks until I got to where I was going. And then I would not be able to find a room temperature beer. If you're a beer drinker, if you know anything about beer, once it gets cold, you cannot let it get room temperature again or it will sour. Yep. So if you buy room temperature beer, only put 2 or 3 in there at a time. And then let the rest of them stay out of your fridge. That way you don't take up all the room in your fridge. If you buy Cokes, like Coke Zero, like I drink, or if you buy Mountain Dews, like Tony drinks, only put 2 or 3 in there at a time. Get you some water bottles. Only put 2 or 3 in there at a time. You don't have to put all your drinks in there and have them stay in there the whole stinking trip. Only put 2 or 3 in there at a time. It'll save you some fridge space. So I have already purchased my beer. And Aaron Sharp says Amy Marlar can get you unwashed farm eggs, and she can get you like 100 a day. They have so many chickens. It's crazy. So I plan on hitting Amy up before we go.
Did you see Porker's comment here? Eggs have to be refrigerated. No eggs. Okay, so he's saying no eggs.
No eggs have to be refrigerated, not even if store bought. Now, if they have been washed, from my understanding, they have to be refrigerated.
See, I'm not. I've heard different things, and I know a buddy of mine went over to England a few years ago, and he said he's in the grocery store there. The eggs were on the shelf next to the bread.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
so
Porker says no. I don't know.
Sorry, buddy.
I don't know.
My eggs are going to be.
I'll tell you what. If I get some eggs at the store, and I bring them home and set them on the counter, and a chicken comes out, I'm going to be really mad.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. So I don't know. But anyway, I guess that's debatable. We can get to that another time. We can try that out. That can be one of our exercises that we try.
There you go.
But, you can talk forever about food prep and food on trips because that is a big part of who we are and what we do while we're out on trips. And it's just one of those things where it was a learning process for me and trying to prepare for this long of a trip. I knew that we would probably be able to run by a store somewhere and I'd be able to restock. Yeah. But I wanted to buy as much ahead of time as possible so that way I wouldn't be spending my trip money. I'd be spending my everyday money right now.
Right.
And that way, for me, that makes sense. For some of you may out there, well, it's the same money. You can just take that $40 and put it. My mind don't work that way.
Yeah.
So for me, it was better to do it that way. But I'm going to have probably 3 front runner boxes full of food. And that way I'll have pretty much all that I need the whole time. Now, I know that we'll probably find some hole-in-the-wall places to eat out. But that's not going to be, a normal thing, like an everyday thing. That's going to be a every now and then thing. So maybe a couple times while you're there, we'll do it. But most of the time, we'll be out in the middle of nowhere on a trail or camped or whatever. And I want to make sure that I've got everything that I need.
We'll be fishing and we need a sandwich.
Yeah, we'll make us a fish sandwich, fresh, or some sushi with some trout that we caught that day. Who knows? Oh my goodness. Well, we have come to the end of our talk. I'm telling you, this went fast because we had a lot to say.
We did.
I learned some stuff just from looking at what we were going to talk about tonight. And I'm glad that you have went with me, Tony, because I have been so pleased it opened your eyes to new types of food.
I'm telling you, you have, and I am thankful that you put in all this time and learning all this stuff and all these tips and tricks, and you're willing to share that with us. So
shoot, yeah, man, that's what we're here for. That's what
good.
we're here for. Well, I can't wait till our trip. I really can't. It's killing me. I'm going out this weekend and camping on the Buffalo, and going to be able to try my new setup out, and I'm going to try some of these things that I've been recommending to you that I haven't tried yet, and we'll see if I'll recommend them to you next week. But we're going to be back next week. We're going to be on here on a Monday instead of Tuesday. Next Tuesday is my birthday, and I got plans. I'll be 51 years old, and so we're going to do something special to celebrate that. But on Monday night, we will be back, and we're going to talk about some more things that we have done to prepare for this extended adventure. So on behalf of Tony and myself, I hope you have a wonderful week. And until then, we see you on Monday. Look out for number 1 and don't step in number 2. Join us next week.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Boom.
Professor and Friends 2022. Woo-woo.
Thank you for watching.
Professor Bats and Friends.
Professor Bats and Friends.
Professor Bats and Friends. Ka-chow.
Joey the Professor and Bats and